Hello and welcome back to the Back Room. I am Bradley, your YW1, and this is the final draw that I will be making for the Backroom Bingo Blitz. We have gone through 5 rounds of Swiss entertainment, with competitors playing for 2 lines apiece. After 33 matches, we've whittled our player base from 16 to 8. And now it is a straight knockout to the finish line. On your screen you're going to see our 8 quarter-finalists, and I'm basically just going to explain their route to this stage. So Dark Lizard was our first person through with a 3-0 result. He took out wins against the man who is actually joining me, Desert Monkey JK. He took out a win against Muddy Maestro in round 2, and then sealed it off with a win over Toto Zigum in round 3. So he's shown that he's already a very, very prominent force to actually overwhelm and beat. But we shall see if he can keep that streak going in our quarterfinals. We also have Yogamonio. He went through on 3 wins, and arguably had a slightly easier path, but he still had to win the matches, and it didn't come without a little bit of drama. He got his first win in round 1 against Big Garth Vader. Then in the second round took out a good win against Charity Royale, who has actually qualified for the stage. But then in round 3 took out King Pez in a rather dramatic turn of events that involved having to go through a golden goal situation, of which Yoga actually won by about 30 seconds. So he went through with 3 wins, 0 losses. He'll also be trying to continue his streak. We then move into the triplet that got through with 3 wins and 1 loss. We got TK47. He went against Dr. Monkey Man in the first round, of which he won. He then went into the second round against a certain Toto Zigum, who ended up besting him, putting TK into the 1-1 bracket, where he faced G4 Video 5 and then Antonio Curtis on his path to qualification. And speaking of Toto, he is up next on our list. In round 1, he put together a very closely fought win against Antonio Curtis, coming down to the last goal. As I mentioned about round 2, beat TK47 before finishing it off in round 4 after a loss to Dark Lizard. He then beat Big Garth Vader. Then we go to Muddy Maestro, our final 3-1 winner. He went 1-0 up straight away with a win over Gentle Toradana Oathsworn. He then beat Charity Royale in round 2, but could not finish it off as he was beaten by... He actually lost to Dark Lizard in round 2, but then managed to get his qualification through a round 3 win against Charity Royale and a round 4 win against King Pez. And then we come to our 3-2 qualifiers. We have Charity Royale. Charity got off to a swift start, got off to a nice start with G4 Video 5, but then slowly fell down the pecking order, going 1 win and 2 losses, with losses coming from Yogamonio and Muddy Maestro in rounds 2 and 3. However, he held steady, took a win against Dr. Monkey Man in round 4, and then managed to compose a nice win against King Pez for round 5 to make his way here. And then we have Desert Monkey JK, and Desert really wanted to go on a comeback trip. He lost his round 1 match against Dark Lizard, and then he went on to also lose his round 2 match. I don't fully remember who you might have played. I think you played Garion, was it? You played...
Yeah, it was Karen.
Yeah, you played Garion, but then managed to sort of pull himself together, made a win against Skater 6453 in an elimination match for round 3, and then comprised 2 more wins against G4 Video 5 and Big Garth Vader to actually go through with 3 wins, 2 losses, from 2 losses down. Then we have Antonio Curtis. And Antonio has played well, so it was a surprise for him to go in as a 3-win, 2-loss qualifier. He lost his first round match to Toto Zigum, and also, I believe, lost his round 3 match against Antonio Curtis. But in round 2, he got a win against Skater 6453, and then made good wins against Gentle Toradona Oathsworn and Agork to seal his place in the quarterfinals. And without much more to say on it, let's draw out our quarterfinals. Now, the way that the quarterfinals are going to work, races are now going to be lengthened to 3 lines required, so it's no longer just 2. The way that the bracket works, the 2 matches on the top, the winner of those 2 will play each other in the semis, and the same will go for the bottom half of this bracket. Now, as for when the semi-final matches can be played, they can be played as soon as you know your opponent. Okay? We will not need to wait for all 4 matches to be played. But obviously for the final we will need to wait for the semi-finals, so it cancels itself out anyway. I don't think there's anything more I need to say. Everything else remains the same, and best of luck to everyone. Let's draw out our first match for the quarterfinals. TK47. He went through as a 3-1 winner, and he will be playing Antonio Curtis. Antonio Curtis went through 3-2. Match number 2, second match of this of the upper bracket. We're going to see Muddy Maestro. And for the record, anybody can play anybody in this one. All of the overlap is no longer relevant. Ooh, and he gets Dark Lizard. Somebody on 3-1, Dark Lizard 3-0. And now we move into the bottom half of the quarterfinal bracket, where it will be Yoga Monia, who went through on 3-1, and he will be playing it's held up in time. It's Toto Zigum.
Oh man, that means I get cheery.
Which means our final match, pardon my throat, is going to be Desert Monkey JK and the man who always seems to get drawn last now, Charity Royale. Best of luck to all 8 competitors, and well, may the best man win, and may this bracket stage prove even more dramatic than the Swiss. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in perhaps a retrospective video after the final. Bye.